Starting.
Is there any way that we're not getting Bing for this? Sean says no. Ahmed, you're muted. Just frowny face.
Hi, I'm Fubaka, and welcome to the Plumes of Hazard. I got some people I do this with. They're generally lighter in complexion, except for one of them. They are the Master Blaster 09, a.k.a. the other half of the Brown delegation, a.k.a. Mr. Small Mod Sausage Finger Master, a.k.a. my favorite banana bow tea, a.k.a. Mr. Blue Shirt, a.k.a. why you got sleeves today, son. And then I got the Angsel Vapor, a.k.a. Howie Mandel, a.k.a. my blood type is Diet Coke, a.k.a. Lightning Bolt, a.k.a. Coke Can, a.k.a. Solancha. And then we got Understudy, a.k.a. I need lights because my soul is dark, a.k.a. I wear a hat, a.k.a. I'm really a good person at heart, a.k.a.
God.
a.k.a. I'm Goku, a.k.a. Fuck, I don't know. I'm good. All right, cool. We can start now.
There you go.
I try to like a rap intro, because everyone's got alter egos and shit.
Right.
I'm actually in the middle. I'm in the middle of a dry burn the Narda because it's like dirty and shit.
True.
Yeah. I'm a little lazy. I don't think I'm gonna refill it though. I'm just gonna roll with what's in there. I'm not gonna it's gonna be a rewick and that's it. I'm not refilling nothing. Fuck that. I'm lazy.
Right. I actually recoiled my my main Narda today for the first time. I was trying to think. I think I've had that thin Clapton, like whatever I call the thin Clapton, like in October. It's been fine. It's been totally fine since. The only thing that's a little different is just lately, like maybe this last like 2 or 3 weeks, all of a sudden I noticed the ramp up is going up a little bit. Like it's taking longer to kind of get going. It still looks visually fine because I've been doing the pulse and the Fubaka style quench, and it's been working great. Like I used good, steam. What is it again? Kidney Puncher Sandvik Canthal, and it looks fine. But anyway, I figured I'd go ahead and put a new build in, and it dramatically changed the flavor of Railcracker, which I find kind of interesting. Like it didn't make it taste bad. It shifted from what it's been for months into a fresh build, which I kind of find interesting.
Ooh, what else?
I'm Potato.
Are you?
I don't know. Sean said I'm Potato.
I just figured they're saying Sean's in lovely high def today. So
my camera's probably all messed up. My wife needed my lighting to take some pictures of some of her stuff recently. I think yesterday, the day before.
What stuff?
Some of her side business stuff that she does. She makes some all natural health food stuff and sells it to friends and kind of thing. But it's anyway. So she had some things to take pictures of.
I actually have to wonder if it's not because you're running the show tonight and I'm not.
Hey, is Brian going to remember to click on people?
I already did that.
Oh.
Yes, I did. And I unclicked on the people when it was over.
Well, good.
Which I admit I've forgotten before.
Ooh. Come on.
He is revolving. You know what I didn't do is I didn't op Fubaka.
That's not really useful anyway.
Him and where's Kylie boy?
Yeah, you gotta be careful with who you make admins in certain forums and chats. There's been a lot of let's say how do we call
lazy
it?
people? Yeah,
I've been around here for years, and this is how I run things. So I should be an admin. So be careful who you make admins.
And who you don't make admins.
And who you don't make admins. That will come back and bite you in the admin butthole.
It might.
No, honey, listen.
No, listen. Linda, listen, Linda, listen.
Honey.
Oh, honey. I thought the kid said Linda. Linda, listen. I don't know. Whatever.
Not me. I didn't do it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just realized that my fan's still on.
Doesn't look familiar to me. I miss saying that and having a segment around that. I do.
Danny said he can resolve or see every single rogue beard hair. I do have some kind of crazy stuff going on today, don't I? It's all right. Yeah. I don't get on here to pretend to be pretty for you people.
Oh, my webcam settings like reset, and I was like trying to like redo them on the fly, and I'm just like, fuck, I'm done. This is as good as it's gonna get tonight. I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah, I've got. I actually finally replaced in my ceiling fan. I've got lights that I used to use here on the show, and then I'm slightly embarrassed to admit, like 6 months ago they burnt out, and I just haven't replaced them. And it was fine, just adjusted my settings of the webcam, and it just. I think it was probably 4 months or 5 months ago. My wife bought me 2 bulbs to replace it. That's fine. I just sat on my desk right over there. I didn't put them in.
Did you give her the late Trevino when they realized they weren't the same bulbs? You're like, honey.
Everybody.
But I did finally put them in, but I didn't turn them on because I didn't want to adjust my webcam. And my legs all messed up today. So.
How far have we fallen, right?
Sorry, it's like 150 degrees here in this room right now, so I'm leaving my fan on. Y'all can deal with the wispy vapors. I think it'll be okay.
Everybody in chat, let me know when Mooch gets in, because I have a special picture to put up when Mooch shows up.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about it. I want to show the picture when
he comes in. Game us.
It's something I saw somebody do with a battery. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I wonder if it's the same one I saw.
You know, I thought to myself for a second what I thought that was, and then I'm like, no, I don't think so.
It wasn't in an orifice, so if that's the one you saw, that's not it.
No, not that I've seen it, but I'm like, that's something you'd have up your sleeve, I feel like.
No. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see what you did there. Are we entertaining you enough, Duro?
Oh boy. It's
he said he wanted entertainment from me.
Yeah. Sorry for the delay today.
Ooh, what else?
Hangouts was being a biatch, so it took me a minute to get it set up. Once I got to setting it up, and actually, now that I say that, I need to pop over to the other window and make sure my job's still running at work. It is good.
By the way, Ideal Show, it is 9:21, and this is your fucking timestamp. Fuck off, you fucking Brits.
Are we doing the weekly Ideal Show timestamp?
We are.
Giveaway?
The weekly Ideal Show timestamp giveaway. You know what? I think during our news, we should just flash. Ideolum show sucks really quickly during our news, so that way they can't steal our news.
What do you think? I think they're self-deprecating enough to steal it.
Oh,
Hey, don't steal our news. What are you talking about?
I mean,
know.
they on the intro that I made for them, which said just a Plumes ripoff for like at least a year. So
I do like that. That is nice.
You're like, we own you, bitches.
The job finish? Did finish. Sweet.
I mean, we could do something like this.
Hold on.
During the news.
No, that's just mean.
We can make it flash too.
Ooh, what else?
and if I'm completely honest, I'm not really comfortable backing that just because I haven't watched their show enough to know if it sucks.
It doesn't suck.
Okay.
They spend some time talking about other things, which we do as well. we spent like half an hour talking about like homeless
Bumps.
people.
Yeah.
I don't think we could get him on that anymore.
We are a strong, independent American nation that need no British man.
Is that better?
Wait, hold on. Welcome to the Viking paper.
Oh shit! It's the other way around. Anyways, enough of that.
It's close enough. That's
Wow.
the sort of professionalism you can expect here on the
What have we become?
Wow.
Show, fucking, and us just being idiots.
Cheers, friend.
So I had a talk with my wife about the bum, and I said, hey, next time I see him, I'm gonna take him out to lunch. She's like, what? And she's like, what happened? I'm like, what do you mean what happened? She's like, I don't know. 2 weeks ago you were like, fuck those fucking bums. Don't get, and now you're like, you're gonna take them out to lunch. What are you up to? And I'm like, well, I might have mentioned them on the show last night. And she's like, oh, so you're gonna use them for a video? And I'm like, you damn right. I'm gonna record this shit. He's like, make sure you ask for his permission before you blast him on the internet. And I'm like, I will.
God,
I'm gonna make
I just
famous.
want to see her face when you said that, dude.
To all. I said, I'm gonna make him famous to all our 11 viewers.
Right.
So I just saw this thing go up. This is completely unrelated to vaping, but Illinois has filed an amendment to apply a 6.25% sales tax on streaming services like Netflix, Spotify, and Xbox Live.
Yeah, it's not going to go through.
It will if net neutrality goes away.
Yeah, well.
No.
Look at Illinois. I swear. Wherever they can grab some money, they go grab it.
Apparently,
Yeah, let's tax the hot pocket eating fucking,
Guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the bros who drink Monster.
so apparently they already pay a 9% citywide amusement tax on those services already.
Like a clown.
An amusement tax? What the hell?
It's like it cost them no money. They were just going to take some money off the top.
What about the people
Apparently,
who have,
Chicago's already doing something like this.
what about the people who have swings in their bedrooms?
No, this isn't Texas.
I can't even say with a straight face.
Interesting. So not only would it include TV and streaming services, it would also be repairs, landscaping, laundry, tattoos, body piercings, tanning, and much more.
Hey, so take a little bit off top there.
Did you say laundry?
Yeah, laundry services.
That's really amusing, isn't it? That's what I think.
Aren't you glad you bought a new dryer?
They're taking 6.25% on your laundromat trip.
That's bananas, but I'm not surprised.
Russia? Oh,
That's
man.
crazy.
Why the lawn mowing? I don't get it.
Wait a minute.
Mass to mass. I mean, I don't think you're gonna mass. I don't think you're gonna get any. You're not gonna get any cut of that 6.25%.
You said lawn mowing, right?
Yeah, I was
Okay,
gonna say you're
yes,
not
Chicago.
seeing any piece of that 6.25.
Chicago has a 9% amusement tax, and Illinois as a whole wants to do 6.25% on top of that for everything else.
How is mowing your lawn amusing?
Laundry.
I don't know. I mean, if you got like the right guy mowing you.
No, I thought you said lawn care too.
I did say
Landscaping. Yeah, landscaping. What?
Yeah.
Why?
you got to pay tax on your Mexican guy.
But that's not amusing either.
Especially if he's not getting a piece of the action.
that's terribly unamusing.
Well, this isn't the amusement tax is Chicago specifically. This is an Illinois' different tax.
Oh, I see.
The amusement tax is 9%.
How about they start taxing dead bodies?
Right? Taxing handguns. Oh boy.
Do you know when the coroner comes out and tests the body? Oh, it's been in here for 18 hours. Oh, I guess you're going to pay an 18-hour tax. Fucking the meter's running.
Yo, dog, I heard you like taxes.
So they're doing it because it would be imposed on the privilege of using the taxable service in the state. So you're getting taxed 6.25% on the privilege of using Netflix if you live in Illinois.
Which you're already paying sales tax, including state sales tax, for that
For
privilege
your-
of using it.
Well, you're paying state sales tax for your internet.
Right.
They want
They gotta make up on those tax breaks to the ISPs, man. It's coming to you.
Are they taxing manscaping?
Now, again, as it stands right now with our current political system, it's potentially very illegal to do this.
Right.
Where that will be in the future is
Wait.
very unseen.
No, so remember
hold
when
on,
I
this is
said that at the
very
beginning
important.
that it's not going to happen.
Hold on, this is very important, Masty. Mooch is in the house.
Mooch is in the house. Okay, well, we'll give him a second to actually look at the screen.
He's there.
Look how many people fucking call him out. It's like, yo, boy's
Alright,
got no
so-
loyalty in the hood.
So a guy posted this in one of the groups, and there isn't anything wrong with this. I just want to point something else out. So this guy said, "Hey, I started my car, and here's the lipo that he used to start the car." Right?
That's fantastic.
But that's okay. Oh, whatever. Okay, so you're using a lipo to start your car. All right, no. Okay.
Yeah, scroll
That's
down.
fine.
I didn't see it.
Let's yeah, right there. There's the lipo right there. Okay. So that's fine, but let's find out maybe why your car died. I don't know. Let's see these fucking connections going to your headlights or whatever. Oh, those are nice. Speaker
Is that
wire.
speaker wire?
Yeah. Well, maybe there's your fucking problem. Yeah, but there you go. So I
Hey,
figured
but it's a
Mooch-
cute cat on a lipo, man.
Figured
Yeah.
Mooch would get a kick out of that. Just the wire shoved in there. Just fucking go.
Yeah.
Well, dude, this is really interesting. This is going to be exactly like the anti-vaping tax in Pennsylvania, to wrap it around, because the requirement would make any company in the world that offers streaming services on the internet would have to collect the taxes for Illinois simply by having one customer who lives there.
But that's why it's not going to happen, because these companies are multinational and they can get it thrown out.
Well, they can try, or they could just not offer service to Illinois, which could happen too.
No, absolutely not, dude. Netflix has they have real fucking lawyers that get some bullshit like this thrown out of court.
Can you imagine the guys going, "Hey, baby, you want to Netflix and chill? Pay the tax."
All I know is
9%,
all I know is that a company like Netflix is going to do everything in their power to look out for their
And a
interests.
company like the cable companies, which arguably have more money and more power, are going to do everything they can to make this happen.
Oh.
You know what I would find very interesting is a legal battle between Illinois and Netflix. That would be enormously humorous, I would think, because those guys got pockets.
Yo, Netflix
Yeah,
is just shitting out
they
content
just-
at this point.
Yeah, they just paid a few million to get Scorsese to do a movie with Pacino and freaking De Niro and all the heroes in there.
All the heroes.
I don't know. Yeah, they just paid a bunch of money.
All the greatest ball busters.
All the greatest ball busters. I will put our Jew up against anyone's Jews.
Frowny face.
What? Motherhead talking shit in chat. I don't.
Ooh, what else?
Hey, hey, Foo.
Sup?
Are you finished building? What are you vaping on?
I wasn't building. I was rewaking my Narda.
Rewacking.
Is that what you're vaping?
Yeah, I'm vaping on the Narda on the E-Vape with Abolishment. Spans. And Pissed. And Limo. My Purple D Out Titan is upstairs. So I forgot to grab it before. But it has Valentine in it. Good, as usual. I've literally been just vaping the same juice for the last 2 months, give or take. 3 months. Pretty good. Almost everything's minty. Still. So. Angsty.
Yeah. Clicking. As always, we've got the Mediterranean Dia, Nard on top, bell cap, Omen Tep, and Railcracker inside. Rat Black, Billbox Rev 4. And by the way, it's not the super cool big screen version. This is the little tiny screen old one that's only got a DNA 40 in it.
That's actually the one I want. I heard people dumping them like the Dickens.
I don't understand that personally, because the big screen, I like the big screen DNA. In fact, I prefer it in most of my mods, but there's not really room for it in the billet box because you lose the cool billet box engraving.
Yeah. You know what it is? This is like people who have, make a computer hardware reference here. People who have like the top end video card right now, which is like the 1080, the GeForce 1080, and they're like getting rid of them so they can get their 1080 Ti. Like,
Right.
I mean, because that's honestly like the small screen DNA 40 is like my favorite. I love the blue and all that stuff. And you're right. That's exactly why if I'm gonna I've been strongly considering getting a Rev 4. So people are dumping them. Like,
yeah, no longer the hot thing. The billet box demand's going back down like it always does. Cycle.
Well, the 60s are now flying off the shelves like hotcakes. Right. And
everybody's
somebody was in chat saying that they got one while running uphill bowling and on shitty Wi-Fi earlier.
Yeah, you can do it, especially when on the classifieds, people dumping their small screen 40s to get the 60. Now, I made this comment today in the group where they were talking about the DNA 60s. I could not care less about the DNA 60 personally in here because I use 20 watts in the billet box. I rebuild the exoset, and it's glorious at 21.4 watts. And B, as far as I know, it doesn't have a USB port, so eScribe isn't a thing. So I don't really understand that. Anyway, so Abolishment is in here, of course, and on my Melody box, busted this out today. We've got a new Atomizer that Sean and I got in today. We'll talk about it briefly, but we literally both just got them today, so we probably won't elucidate very much on it. But it's the Narba from Nareg. And somebody was like, "Oh, Nardas all the time, everywhere, huh?" How about a Narda? Or that's the Narta. There's another Narda over here. But
my girl wants to Narda all the time. No.
You should get a Narda. They're really good. Anyway, Sean.
A Dia, a Narda with a Mun cap and Abolishment, and I busted out my JMFD with the Narba and Abolishment.
Narba
I don't think I have any Addies that aren't Nareg stuff.
That's about true.
Yeah.
At least anyone that I actually use.
I only got on top of my stuff.
I miss my. You know what I kind of want to do is I want to bust out the Mulcaber again when I get the whenever I get the freehand back.
I've been loving that thing so much.
Well.
I've been loving the Mulcaber so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good Addy.
And it wouldn't. I mean, it's not like it wasn't my kind of Addy. I mean, then again, it's kind of like what I like about an RTA and a tripper. It's kind of an RTA experience for me squonking it more than like the Narda would be,
See, I've been running it because I am vaping, and we'll go into that here in a minute. But I've been running it into without a drip tip because that's how I like running it. But lately, as the whiskers get longer, if they get caught up in there, and
I was gonna say, does it grab the airflow control?
It does. It does. So, past 3 weeks, I've been saying on the show that I had been vaping, and what I had been testing was I had been getting up in the middle of the night with super dry mouth, like unbelievable. Like I had to keep water in my nightstand. And these guys don't know about it. I haven't talked about it, but for some reason, if I vape after 9:30, it happens. And when I don't, it doesn't. And I've tried brushing my teeth after vaping. I've tried drinking water. So I'm not sure what's going on yet, but we will find out.
What's the condition of your knuckles? Do you need some electrolytes?
I was waiting to miss.
I let you click just for that.
Right.
Oh, okay. I look like
Not falling for that one.
Coach Natalia Masty, did you go up at Nick level?
No, I'm actually at 0.
No.
So
Yeah, Masty's been at 0 since I think we started the show.
yeah.
I think so.
And I've
Since I met you.
I've tried switching. It's something. It's not the juice, because I've tried 6 or 7 different juices and I've never had any issues with them. So not sure. So, but I have just gone, not vape for a day or two, and I haven't had any issues. So
here's a question for you, and since you brought it up, I assume this is okay to talk about, right? I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I've had dry mouth before. Like, for example, when I wake up in the morning after a long night of drinking. And back in the day, smoking. If I smoked a pack or two, whatever, it's like you woke up and the cat shit in your mouth, right? So is it like that? I don't even know really what dry mouth is other than that.
Yeah.
Like you're like water.
Mountain. I have, and it's fine in the morning and after a big meal and stuff like that. So they're asking about blood sugar. So
what is it? What's the symptom? I guess.
Here's a good example. For people who snore, it feels like you've been snoring with your mouth open.
Okay.
But I don't, sleep on my back. I'm usually face down into the pillow or sideways. So it's not that. I mean, I have a dentist appointment coming up here pretty soon, so I'm going to ask her about it and see. So, but
Kyle's seen that
shit in my mouth.
On the scale of dry mouth to cat shit in my mouth. You've never woken up like that? Surely somebody else besides me has woken up like that. You just wake up, you're like, yeah. That needs to be a gift right there.
Drool DeBay asking if I have sleep apnea. I haven't gotten tested for it, but I have been able to stop it from happening by not vaping past 9 o'clock. So when I don't vape, no problems whatsoever. When I start vaping late, and that's why obviously the show starts at 9:08, and that's why I haven't been vaping for the past 3 weeks, because I wanted to give it a good period of time and test after so late. So,
but does the diet change from day to day, or is it literally 100% of the time when you vape? It's boom. It's every night.
It's 100% of the time when I vape. So, and I think it's something that's maybe changed. I don't know, saliva wise, chemically, something like that.
Yeah.
That I don't know. But I used to when I was vaping Nick, I would not be able to sleep if I vaped too late. With Nick. But when I went to 0, that went away. No problems whatsoever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very interesting. So we'll see. We'll see what's up.
There's a lot of talk about various things shitting in your mouth while you sleep right now.
Dog shit in your mouth. So, but it's not a big deal if I have to stop vaping at 9 versus 10:30 or 11 when I right before I go to bed. It is what it is. So, luckily, I am not addicted to the nicotine anymore or need the nicotine anymore. And even still, I wouldn't vape that late anyways, even if there was nic in the juice. So,
I have found that my thing is more. I haven't found that vaping nic later in the evening keeps me up later because sometimes my brain is weird and I sleep very poorly anyway, as far as like length of time, and I always have. But I have found that when I'm not vaping much at all, sometimes I stay up until 4, and sometimes when I'm vaping a lot, sometimes I'll stay up till 4. And I'm not sure if it's very causal for me, but I can see how that could be. I mean, it's clearly a stimulant, so I can see how that might be a thing for some people.
Yeah, there are two things I try not to do too close to bed, and that's one, playing video games, because that'll get my mind racing. Like I'll sit up with these guys and play Overwatch until like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then
wait,
like,
Drulo is saying that most zero nic contains nicotine.
What kind of bullshit ass shit do you think we're vaping?
No.
But yeah, so I'll sit and play. Like we'll play deep into the night, and then next thing I know, it's 5:30. I'm like, holy fuck, I'm still not asleep. It's the weekend, but and vaping too. Like I was never one to smoke in bed, and that said, I think early on, like when I was first vaping, I'd like take a few pulls in bed or whatever. But now it's, I'll get up. Usually there's a mod that sits on my bathroom counter, so I'll hit that first thing in the morning.
Yeah,
I'll have something on the counter, so. Brush teeth, added flavor. Yeah.
Coach Natalia, I've also found that doesn't affect me very much either. Sometimes I think it does, and I think I would have fallen asleep earlier. And then sometimes it doesn't matter if I'm drinking water, pounding water all night, which I do sometimes. I'm still up all the time, so I'm not sure if it's not 100%, but I think it probably affects things.
Do you have like a clock that you figured out, like? If I don't fall asleep before like 1, which I never fall asleep before 1, I have a hard time going to sleep till like 4 or 5.
Usually, mine's not usually that bad because I'm usually up at least by about 8 or so, and I'm usually, even on my like bad night, so to speak, I'm usually in bed by 3, and trying to fall asleep by then. But on my good night, I'll be tired and going to sleep at 1 to 2. But no, I don't. Now, what I do find is if and I've found this since I was little, and because I've always had this weird sleep thing where I sleep, 4 or 5 hours a night max. I found out if I ever realize that I am tired, I have to go to bed now.
Yes,
within minutes. And if I don't, it's second wind time, and I'm up until 4.
I get like that too. If I like fall asleep by accident, like I'll be like laying on the couch watching TV or something and pass out.
Yeah.
And if I do anything after I wake up other than go right to bed and lay down, I'm up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have a window because I go upstairs every night at like 2 every night.
Yeah.
But I typically don't fall asleep for another hour or 2 because it's after 1 and I have that window. But I get too much done at night to not go to bed or to go to bed before 2.
See, I think that's part of it. I am totally, since this started happening in mid-high school or so, I am totally addicted to this time where everybody else in the house is asleep and I can do something that I actually might want to do myself, which is arguably a little selfish, but at the same time, I also get work done sometimes, and I also get other stuff done.
That's when I do most of my work. That's when I get to watch TV shows that I want to watch or play video games or whatever, is when everybody else is.
The chat's saying weed is the answer. It's a valid argument, I suppose.
So I don't know if you guys heard about this or the validity of the video. Reached out to the person who uploaded the video and have not gotten a response. But there is a story of an 11-year-old walking into a pharmacy and buying Nicorette gum. Okay, and I think it was 26 milligram, 2 milligram. Sorry, 2 milligram. So here's a video. Check this out.
Have a good one.
Looks like he's got a Nicorette gum box in his hands.
Why is this person filming in the first, or did they see this person already walking?
No, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was set up.
Yeah, just to see, right, to see if it's possible. I'm sure.
I'll try to zoom in a little bit here in a second.
Yeah, let me see. Undercover.
Looks like a Walgreens or a.
Can you imagine?
Can
you imagine the kid trying to bullshit with the cashier?
Oh, your kids.
CVS,
Oh
maybe.
yeah, I got 3 kids.
CVS. Yeah.
I think it's a CVS.
Yeah.
It looks like to me.
Can you imagine?
Looks like CVS in like a city.
And there you go. So, yeah, that is that's interesting. So we'll see what comes out of that. Which, again, you know, you could chew the gum and get the nicotine. So and
It's expensive though, dude.
It's super expensive. Yeah.
Like my uncle. He's the kind of guy I'm not even gonna try to get to date. I'll put it that way. He chews nicotine gum, and it's cheaper here for me to get it for him and like have it sent over with family or whatever.
Yeah, and the poster who posted this username Oming the Law said, quote, Health Canada maintains that the vaping industry has to be regulated like tobacco in order to protect our youth from being able to access nicotine products. The vaping industry restricts its products by self-regulating and making shops only accessible to those over the age of majority. The government of Canada is waiting to regulate vaping tobacco product and restrict flavorings and e-liquids, blah, blah, blah. So the same stuff that's going on here. But you can go out and buy Nicorette gum, 2 milligrams mint flavored. And, you know, so they're basically showing you that you can go in and do that. So 11 years old was the kid that bought it. So
can you imagine if he tried to like bullshit with the cashier? Like, yeah, got to go pick up my kids from soccer practice. Try to act all grown up and shit.
yeah.
That would have been great.
Mm-hmm. You know, I realized when you, and I meant to show this earlier, Masty, when you showed that thing to Mooch, I had something to show Mooch today too.
Ooh, what else?
Ooh. This is a hat tip to Ty Learnt One. He posted this figure. He said, "Dude on JJ page, I don't know what that means, just posted asking for recommendations on his batteries because they were 5 years old." And he shared this picture. Ready, go.
Battery gore? Come on.
Oh, man.
Meth. Not even once, dude. That's battery meth.
I've worked on mods that look like that.
It looks like an IPV, dude.
It does.
Or a Sigelli.
I don't buy 5 years because of the fact that I think you're right. I think
I think it might be a Sigelli.
I'll just throw it out here. The mods that you've worked on have been filled with way more juice than that.
And finger cheese.
Look,
and actual cheese.
Yes, that was on these here today, Robert. That's what I'm talking about.
Keto bits.
I know when I send Master Mod, I get like spray cheese and I just fill it.
You bitch.
That's the way to do.
Don't get any ideas. It's waste of cheese. Scoop that shit up.
Update profile. There we go.
If you're gonna do that, Sean, send me some crackers to go. It's disgusting. I've seen what's been in some of these mods.
I'll put some crackers in between the Addy and the mod.
How are you gonna fit yourself between the Addy and the mod?
Ooh, here's something we can do. I can, because this is totally topical. Here is another thing that I saw on the vapings on the Reddits today. A clap 1626 shares this. Now I have mentioned, I know we've all mentioned at one point or another about when your batteries do get old. One of the places that I know that you can go and take them and have them recycled properly. Don't just throw them in the damn trash. You can take them to Best Buy, right? somebody shared a page called Earth 911, and I don't know shit about this page other than the fact that if you click on recycle search.
Okay, hold on a second. We were just talking about cheese and crackers. This is not.
Yeah,
Earth-
well, I know. I was trying to keep us back
Earth
back to this.
911.
Anyway, if you go batteries and lithium-ion batteries, you can drop your zip code in here, and it'll tell you somewhere that you can take your batteries to have them
Put
properly recycled.
90210.
I'm sure it works. That's a real zip code.
I know. I want to see where you can recycle batteries around there.
I don't know. I did have some here. I'll put the link in chat there. I did have some problems today when I was testing it. I got some like 501 like gateway taking too long errors. But it also works some of the times, and you can also call there. There's a phone number on there. You can call in there. You always drop your old batteries off at Best Buy Duro.
So there was somebody in chat talking about earlier that they mentioned that there is Nick in Zero Nick juice, and I believe what they're referencing is a study by the Journal of Separation Science, which is a research article that was done that said liquid chromatography with tandem mass spectrometry method for the determination of nicotine and minor tobacco alkaloids in electronic cigarette refilled liquids and secondhand generated aerosol. So basically, long story short, what they're saying is that the nic levels in many e-liquids vary by more than 10%. They say that there's trace amounts of nic in zero nic liquids, and that the secondhand vapor contains much less nic than secondhand smoke. So I think that's what they were referencing, and I think it was Duro.
When you're talking about being 10% off, it's not that I necessarily disagree with that assessment or the trace amounts, but you're talking about thousands of brands, and there is no study available right now that has that kind of scope to make that kind of actual claim.
Yeah. So the percentages, though, are so small. It's 0.000245 milligrams per milliliter. That's, I mean, there's a trace, but that is fucking tiny.
It is, and I mean, you also have to account for. I mean, that's including, I'm assuming, juice from Jimmy Joe Bob's filthy double wide that he's mixing his e-liquid in.
Yeah,
but most of the places these days that are around, that are still around, are in pretty clean facilities using separate, containers or whatever.
I don't know if that's accurate. I think there's just as many really crappy places as there were before.
Right? Oh no, I completely disagree.
Not at all.
At least not around here. The places that
we have way less visibility into it.
The places around here that were fly by night, open to get a quick buck off. I don't see half the number of people or the number of shops.
Take out brick and mortars and just look at online orders.
Oh, I'm talking about brick and mortars.
Things that cost literally no money to keep open.
Yeah.
Or to, I mean, there's just as many of those now as there were guys mixing it in their basement or whatever. That hasn't changed. I tend to, and we've talked about this before, right? I think I can say that I know on a personal level everybody that I buy juice from.
Yeah.
Because I just prefer to do it that way.
Sure.
I just missed 2013.
What just happened?
Did you have any stuff to talk about, Fu?
No. I don't think I read anything interesting this week, but yeah, I'm not a news guy this week or last week.
Yep, no problem. Let's see. I already whacked that one. I got that one out of the way. I did find a couple more interesting things on Reddit today when we were doing our planning. So let's pull this one up because I find it kind of interesting. And you know what? I don't really have to like read the thing. Basically, what it is Blue Dot Vapors, which is a fairly prominent vendor on ECR. He was talking about underage attempts at buying e-liquid, or I guess whatever. So
Yeah.
we usually have a couple of vendors in the chat, and I'm kind of curious if anybody's seen any of that. It's funny that you mentioned that underage gum thing, Massey, because that meshes really well with this. Because we've got all this, age verification stuff that's supposed to be in place at this point, right? Per the FDA. I was just wondering if anybody's got any like interesting experiences with or if that even happens now, or if it happens.
What, underage people like trying to go into a shop or?
Sure, yeah, into the shop.
Yeah.
I guess you have experience with that.
Dude, let me tell you, I felt like a dickhead at first when the 21 rule rolled out in New York. I think New York was the first place to do it. I was working at a shop then. I had a kid come through who was like clearly underage, and he was like, "Oh, but I have so and so gear." I'm like, I don't give a shit. You're a liability, dude.
Right.
I remember
because the shop I worked at was near a college. It was like a subway stop or two away from a college, and so a lot of my regulars were college kids who were like in the 19 and 20-year-old range. And then, it's 21 now. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry,
it
man.
was probably a couple of years ago. I was at a shop, and there was a mom in there with like a 12-year-old kid. And a 12-year-old kid was like fully modded out with the latest Chinese like Clouds Bro mod, and Nick and all that. And the guys from the shop came out and said, "Excuse me, ma'am, is that your son?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Excuse me, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I don't really care what happens outside of here, but while you're in here, he can't vape, and I can't sell you anything because you're here with him." And she's like, "What is that supposed to mean?" And they're like, "It's a liability for us. He's 12 years old. He's sitting on our couch vaping. Clearly, I can't sell anything because it's going to go to him. It's just not okay."
Yeah.
She said, "Okay." And they walked away, and she got up and she was leaving with him. And she was all fucking pissed off about it. She's like, "Well, at least you're not fucking smoking this fucking bullshit." She like stormed out the door with her 12-year-old kid.
Well, I'm sure it's not any different where you live or where Fu lives, but like in Texas, there's the TABC, which I'm pretty sure controls tobacco as well. I know it's the alcoholic beverages anyway. Those guys do not fuck around. Those guys are serious business. They will shut down entire stores like that if they suspect.
It doesn't happen too often around here because, not in vape shops anyway. It happens. I mean, in my experience, like I've seen it happen more in smoke shops. Like,
I mean, I'll be straight. If your 12-year-old smoked and now he vapes, good for your 12-year-old.
how do you get to smoking in the first place so early?
Because kids do weird shit.
Of course, but
that kids have done shit they're not supposed to do.
Of course, but as a parent, like, let me put it to you this way: if it was my kid and like my 12-year-old, he smoked for like 3 months or something, like, it's like, no, you're not going to vape. You're just no.
So then they don't listen to you, anyway.
Because at that age, it's like they're 12 and they're going to feel like you're encouraging it.
You see Danny Boy's hashtag?
Or they're 12
my laws.
Or they're 12 and they're just going to go continue smoking because they can. So you don't want to encourage it, but guess what? I'd still rather have somebody.
I don't know. My mom's idea of me quitting the first time she caught me was, of course, like everyone else, and that's to make me smoke all of it. And
I didn't have that weird experience because I didn't start smoking until I was 18.
Oh, I was pretty young. She didn't know for a while. I started at 14.
I told my mom because I used to bury my mom's cigarettes in the backyard because I hated that she smoked.
Well, when your mom also smokes, and then you pick it up, and she's not necessarily going to smell it on you all the time, or
Well, I told her before I.
No, I mean, this is like when I was 15, 16, tiptoeing and shit.
Yeah, but I'm saying
great. It was good times.
All I'm saying is if it was in my position,
Yeah.
I'd much rather have the 12-year-old kid vaping than I would smoke.
Of course. I mean, I would take the cigarettes and somebody going to get a hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah. That's here. I'll put some 100 milligram base on here. I'll smack you. There you go. Here's your nicotine patch.
Somebody going to get hurt and never worked on me.
Don't do that.
I felt like doing something. The fear of punishment never really stopped me.
The 100 milligram hairy side.
I've never in my life been stopped by fear of punishment.
I have what I was doing when I wanted it more than I cared about the punishment. That's the only thing that.
No, I have taken direct punishment just to prove a point.
Right. And usually when it's something that I want to do, I just do it. And if I got caught, okay. I still want to do it, and that's what I was going to do.
Yeah. So
Narba. If you guys have been around for a little while, you may have seen that. And I'll zoom in so we can see the difference because somebody was asking about the differences between the two.
This was first. This was first.
It certainly was first, but that's not a tank.
Doesn't matter. It's still a NAR product.
It is a NAR product, and it's arguably the best NAR product. But after the Narda, which I agree is the best NAR product, this is the Narta. And right next, this is the newer Narba. So you'll see they look very similar on the outside. But on the inside, they're actually quite different. And yes, as far as I know, these were both released before the August 8th date and have been unmodified since. I probably should say that.
To a set 20 in chat who asked how hard are these going to be to get, impossible.
It'll, at least firsthand, unless you happen to be in the group, it probably will be very difficult. So there's my janky build on the Narta, and here's the newer Narba. And obviously, you can see they're quite different in how the air is delivered. So the Narta on this side is more like the Narda style with the two little tunnels that kind of go in. The Narba has got this ramp, which is definitely reminiscent to the Drifter and the Drift Tank. But as you'll notice, if you've seen the Drifter products, the posts and the fill method and stuff, this is quite a bit different than the Drifter Tank or the Drift Tank. I forget what it's actually called. I think it's a Drift Tank. But it borrows heavily, and the reason for that is almost lost his name.
Nareg.
Noberto. No.
Noberto.
The hell is
Hoberto?
Hobo's name.
Hoberto.
Yeah. Did you say Noberto?
He said Norberto. He said Norberto.
So Hoberto.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Norberto products too.
Hmm?
He makes the Origino line of things.
The what?
You mean Hobertos? Hey, so what happens to that ramp when all that condensation and shit builds up? Where's it go?
What?
The what? What happens on that ramp when all that condensation builds up like we saw in there? Where's it go?
The ramp is actually very small, and there is a tiny deck, a recessed deck. So if there's anything that happened, I assume it's going to fall down. I haven't had any like pissing out or anything yet, but I literally just got a taste. So did Sean. So we haven't had a good chance to try.
Yeah, you don't purge like I do.
Inhale,
You don't do that.
draw in, it'll take
So
any
what?
of that condensation and push it into the coil.
Right.
When
you
you draw
inhale?
it, takes that condensation, pushes it into the coil.
Hmm.
Because it's only one side of airflow on this rather than the two.
Right.
That
So what if you're like me and you like to do this when you?
I do that quite a bit, and I have a problem.
All I'm saying is I get like condensation outside of the air for like almost all my addies. Doing
I haven't had an issue yet.
I don't know. That'll be a good test to test on there. But excuse me. So the short is this is the new tank. We're going to be testing it. The first batch has now shipped. So there will be, I think, 100 people rocking these things, and you'll see pictures and have people talking about it. I have to say the one thing that I find interesting is compared
What
to the
number
Narda,
are you? What number are you?
100.
55.
The one thing that's kind of interesting about it, and I think it's interesting in a good way, is the Narda and the Narta both have that offset 90-degree post thing, where you have to, when you build your rep, you got to bend, kick out your leg, unless you're going to build a diagonal build. I kind of love the fact you don't have to do that in this. I'm still not positive that this is going to be better than everything, but I think even now it's already better than the Narda. But I don't see any way it's going to be better than the Narda because that's squonks, and everybody knows that's the best way to vape. I don't know.
Is there going to be a squonking pen for that?
I don't think it's set for a squonking pen.
I don't think the stem is drilled out in there, Lasty,
Stem.
to squonk it. Plus, I don't think Greg wants to modify the design per current FDA rules.
So then he'll send a drill bit with it so you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
So I think it's better than the Narda already.
Yes.
It's an easier build. It seems to be wicking a little bit better.
I don't know if it's wicking better, but what I do think is it's not as cool.
Well, that's what it keeps the heat and density from the Narda. What's really surprising to me about it so far, though, is how decidingly this vapes like a NAR product. Because it's
completely different.
It's such a different deck design, but it vapes so much like a NAR product.
This looks
which
like
is really interesting.
This looks like a gaping hole in there, and it's not. At least with the 3mm build, and I've got it a long way away from the side. It's very restricted. Still lung hit, but it's not.
Even from a flavor perspective, it vapes so much like a NAR product. And the other two NAR products are very similar. They're both dual airflow. This is single airflow on that ramp. So I was very surprised that it vaped so much like his other stuff, given that it's so different.
Yes, I agree.
But it is decidedly a NAR product in quality and in
So angsty.
Quality and vape quality.
On the inside of that cap, is there also another ramp that ramps up to the coil?
Is there another ramp that ramps up to the coil? No, there's not. So the coil, here, I'll zoom up and show you.
But it's kind of closed off.
So wouldn't you think if you have an opening here, okay?
Yeah, so that bottom squared off piece is where your airflow sits. So it comes straight in and just gets pushed up by that ramp.
Yeah, but show the inside of the cap.
Yeah, and the cap is
because the cap totally walls off the whole thing.
Okay, that's what I wanted to see. Yeah.
So it basically forces you on that ramp because it walls it off. With that in.
That actually leads to one of my first cons about it, though. Unlike the Narda and even the Ta, this distance right here is really small. So the cap, unfortunately, doesn't go on. It's kind of got a little bit of the armor sort of drawback in that I don't like really how the top cap goes on.
I would agree with you, other than that the cap is much thicker and doesn't feel as cheap.
Hey, there's a bell cap for that, or there will be a bell cap.
But it does that, which I don't like.
So yeah, there's a quick fix for that.
Yeah, and maybe
one cap.
No, probably not. Just because it's distance down.
It's just so that's what you got.
Is it bigger in diameter?
No, it's 22 mil.
It's 22.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, so somebody posted a picture and
probably effectively like 15 or 16 millimeter though.
Yeah, but I think it's good. I think Sean would agree that we've had nowhere close enough time to play with this. I've got a few more builds and wick styles to put in here to see how it works, and juices, because as we all know, some juices do better in certain ice. And right now, Railcracker is good in this, quite good. But I kind of want to put Get Pissed or Abolishment in it.
So do you do the build right at where the airflow hits, so some air can go under the coil and some can go above it?
Yeah.
Greg's suggestion was to put it as close as possible to the posts.
Yeah, and this is a quick and dirty build. I was literally in the middle of work trying to do this, so go easy on me here. But that coil position is like right at the end of the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
So the air, in theory, would be able to just peek underneath. I think I actually need to raise it just a hair. But that's where I've got it at the moment. But I think it needs to go up. There's still a lot of tweaking to be done, but you can just bung one in and go with it. By the way, these screws are awesome.
Yeah, mine's quite a bit higher than yours. Let's see if I can.
Super squared off screws. I like them.
Ah,
Let's see if I can get a zoom up going.
I got you clicked.
Where are I going to be? Yeah, see, mine's much higher.
Yours is about a millimeter higher than mine, yep. But I
comes
was
right down
entertained
that-
by the fact that it was shooting vapor like straight away from the coil. That was awesome.
Yeah,
Mine
right down the ramp.
kind of neat. Anyway, so we haven't had a lot of time to look at it, but I think it's good. You have anything else to say about it?
I think it's good, but we'll talk more about it later.
Fair play. Speaking of new atomizers, I did see one that Mr. Joe Allen, the crazy Hawaiian squanker, posted in Squanker's Paradise, which I wanted to show because I thought it was kind of interesting, and by somebody that has got I think Sean would probably say a fairly mediocre run lately, but this is No Name Products. This is their plug-in. It's called the plug-in. Notice that ramp, by the way. So, to me,
that's a mini ramp. That's what that is.
So to me, this looks like a leaking nightmare because, unlike the Narba, this is a squonking atomizer, which means you're going to be squonking, I assume, between these posts here, right? And then you're going to have wick here, whatever. So if you do a good squeeze, that juice level's got to just run right down, like, or at least want to run right down. You might have to be really careful with this guy.
Yeah, if you over squonk, it's going right down that ramp.
Yeah, definitely. But it's not flashy. The posts look okay. I think this is a gimmick, and I don't think it's going to work very well for squonking netting.
Fuck Ultim drip tip.
Yeah. And I also have another picture that somebody posted of it built with their ridiculous try-hard coil.
Jesus.
Look at the
bolt cutter to a matrix sentinel.
Look at the ramp. Look at the ramp. It's ribbed for her pleasure.
It is ribbed for her pleasure.
That's got to do that is not conducive to what do we call that kind of airflow? Diffused airflow.
Diffused. That's it.
I like the ends over here. Usually
those are taser prongs. Yeah, you know what? It's probably because they can't fucking cut it because it's so thick. They got to use bolt cutters.
I'm looking forward to your next topic a lot, so I'm just gonna wait till we get to that.
Is that right? What's my next topic? Oh yeah. Actually, I was hoping that is he in here? I don't see him this week. Oh, that's too bad. So I was hoping DIY or Die was in here to talk about this next thing. So the next thing.
One moment. My younger brother did something awesome for once. He just texted me. He's upstairs. He does. I'm doing the show. He's going to 7-Eleven, picking up the chip game for me. Thank you.
Let me cancel all these freaking ads, and so I can share you this thing. So a company by the name of Aspen Valley Vapes posted a little blog, and my title in the notes, because I've got the title and the link. My title is Aspen Vapes Give Reasons to Be Sorts of Jerks. And,
so I want to read a paragraph excerpt from this. I really do. We're here to tell you that, especially if you're relatively new to the vaping community, making DIY e-juices is probably not the best idea. It might save you some money and it might offer the experimentation you're looking for, but why make e-juices when you can use companies like Aspen Valley Vapes to satisfy your vaping needs?
That's right. So
what the fuck is wrong with you?
Basically, these guys that sell e-liquids say, here's 5 reasons why you shouldn't mix your own. And it's all ridiculous.
This is why you shouldn't have an imagination.
If you're not an idiot. It's not as simple as mixing a few materials together.
Yeah. It can
yes, that's all it is mixing a few materials together.
And then as me and Lab Rat were talking about the other day, he does the Arsenio Hall mixing method.
No, I mean, is this true? I mean, that is what the process is, but the process includes a lot of iteration, and a lot of tweaking, a lot of tries.
So
right?
that goes to their point 3. It won't turn out how you
Right.
expect it to at first. No shit.
Yeah.
We went through 20-some
That's
betas.
where you learn how to be a better mixer.
Yeah, we went through 20-some betas per juice on our lines.
Sure. It could lead to a lot of wasted products. Yeah, okay.
I still have all our betas too.
You could probably make a gallon of wasted product for cheaper than you could buy e-juice.
I mean,
Yeah.
just fucking reuse it, right? I mean,
And it might not end up
use
saving you
nicotine.
money.
If it ends up in zero nic, you're fine.
The first month or two will probably not save you a lot of money. But once you nail down some things you like, you're going to save a shit ton of money. Now,
Wait,
hold on, before you
hold
go
on,
into
damn
this,
it, this is my fucking segment.
I want to say one thing. Buy Poe or Deadline.
Oh yeah, we have a juice, Poe or Deadline sold at Gaslight Vapor Supply. Please remember to click link and subscribe to our videos. And
True.
we might actually set up a Patreon. I don't even know what that does, but I know they say it on the videos.
They say it on the videos, and that people get get that mad YouTube money.
Get that chatterbait money.
So the other thing that this thing conveniently forgets, because Sean's not wrong, and the article's not wrong per se, in that it may take some iterations, it may not save you some money up front, blah 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 blah, because you got to buy, a scale, you need to buy your graduated cylinders and all that shit. Yeah, okay, there's a little bit upfront money, but
You can save a little bit on the dropout cylinders.
We had DIY or die on before. We've talked DIY D-shoot.
We got fresh on.
We had fresh on. So here's the thing. That all completely ignores, even though it's kind of accurate, it all completely ignores that there's not places out there like the DIY e-liquid subreddit and like a ton of other websites that have recipes that people like that are already there and done. So you don't have to go through that process of like wasting a bunch of crap while you're trying stuff. You can just go use one of their recipes and probably be 90+% of the way there.
Can I say I love our chat? Fukushima had the highest radiation levels just 2 weeks ago.
Not to mention a shit ton of guides to
Yes.
do it. Like, and
I ain't Japanese.
so, I mean, I'm just going to go out and say that these guys are douchebags.
I agree.
Because, like, okay, we have a juice line, whatever. Go DIY. If you want to DIY, if you want to experience that and create shit, like, go fucking do
Sean,
it.
I want to go to a place where the VG flows like wine. About a place called Aspen Valley Vapes.
It's super douchey to have a juice company and be like, here's why you shouldn't DIY. And don't worry, this is not a conflict of interest.
No, totally.
I want to go where the
God.
Aspen bullshits, where they put all
Whoever
the fake
wrote
shit up
that-
in the show. Was
I
high?
kind of like.
Yeah.
I really want somebody to bitch slap whoever wrote that. Like, I feel like that would be an appropriate response.
They get the 100 milligram hairy side this time.
It feels a little bit like the Provari.
That's almost that's almost as bad as buying $5 fidget clones and selling them for $25.
Yeah, dude, it's just really insulting. That article is so insulting to like a vapor's intelligence
It is.
or whatever. Like, if you want to buy juice, buy juice. Preferably, I would love it if you buy Power Deadline.
I don't give a shit.
I really don't either.
I know you don't.
You want to buy juice, buy juice. If you want to mix juice, mix juice. If you
Don't-
need to learn how
don't-
to mix juice, then ask, and we can point you in the direction of people who like teach other people how to do this.
DIY or
Yeah.
die fresh and his YouTube channel and stuff. They'll
Look, we
figure it
can
out.
we can teach you. We can send you the people. You can learn how to make soap. You can learn how to make candles. You can learn how to make juice.
You can learn
Take
how to
your fucking
sell
pick.
$5 physical ones for $25.
They're doing candles now too.
So by that token, I wonder if they're telling people to take an Uber instead of driving because it's dangerous. Because it costs.
So messy, but I just took a long drag of abolishment and snorted when you said that, and it was all over at that point. It was like all my nose. I'm like, oh.
That's gonna do that. That is totally Uber's viral marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
drive.
I'm sure.
Here's 5 reasons why you shouldn't drive. It's
Do you drive your car every day? Do
You
you
might
know
get
that
lost.
do you know that your brakes are worn every time you hit the brake pedal? Drive with Uber. Did you
It's
know that
bad
you
for the
use
Wait.
gas?
Busta update. My younger brother just reaffirmed why he's a Busta because he's not going to 7-Eleven anymore.
Ah.
You know, I gave him a shout out on the show. I gave him some love, and he just texted me, and I'm just
Dude, call him out like I do my sister. Friggin'
no. He wouldn't.
yeah. Oh, you're too nice.
No, I've just I've been
Get
too
a
much of a
job.
dick.
She still doesn't have a fucking job. Ridiculous.
Last but not least, let me wrap up here. Last but not least, I'm going to shout out the Bacon Battery Hopper again. If you don't remember, it's this guy that kicks all ass. You will never regret purchasing that because I think we've all been using them forever. The link is in side chat or in chat right now. And now I'm finished. Now I can cut talking. Now it's Sean's turn.
No, I'm just really happy you had something in there that got me angry because I enjoy being angry and calling people douchebags.
It's ridiculous. It was so bad. I saw that. I was like, holy shit. Are they really doing that? That's crazy.
Dude, no, but listen. Let's be honest. That shit works on people. Like, people will read that and be like, "Oh yeah, I'll buy the juice." You might only get 1 or 2 or 3 people doing it, but there's still be people buying it.
Yeah, but I love the comments because they totally left comments on, and there's 101 comments,
No,
and
I
it's
didn't
about
even
trying
look.
to deter people from making their own e-juice, and then right underneath it, ads for your e-juice. You're dipshits. This is the dumbest shit I've ever read. Note to self: never
Fuck you
buy
for doing
abs-
things yourself.
absolute apes.
That's
DIY, you're
un-American.
getting slammed on social media. It's not true, and you're hurting your own business. So stop spreading bullshit. What a crock of shit. Should be ashamed of this article. I disagree with it. Wow, somebody wrote like 6 paragraphs.
Was it Project 2501?
No. None of this is even vaguely true. Biggest little bull I've ever heard. Very biased opinion from a vendor. This whole thing is no different than the bullshit propaganda, dumb shit fake scientists try to push on the risks of vaping.
Shots fired.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the comments are great. Fuck these guys. Don't buy from these guys. As far as news things that I have to say go, pass.
Pass.
I have nothing.
I covered almost all my news during that.
Were you going to do Tech Time tonight?
No,
Does it follow up to last week?
no,
It still won't update.
no. Actually, I haven't gotten a chance to mess with that. So
Is that a Sonny's barbecue cup?
it is.
Nice.
Is it
I
Sonny's
did-
barbecue and foot massage?
Sonny's barbecue with massage.
So my wife has just for the first time saw Jones barbecue foot massage.
Nice.
He asked me if it was real. I'm like,
I don't think it actually was.
so I went through and had her watch a couple different spoof videos, not only of that, but of a few other ones like the 2 Spider-Men spoof video, and she was fucking losing her shit.
So I mean, I get.
Wait, is that the anatomically correct Spider-Man?
No, that's the 2 Spider-Men in bed.
Oh God!
Oh, okay. We're not showing that one.
I don't think I want to see that.
No, you've seen it, Brian.
Oh, have I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have.
It's not coming to mind.
I did, however, link the article rather than just screen share it so that chat can go leave their thoughts and comments.
Fine.
Because I am 100% for people going and leaving their thoughts and comments on that bullshit, since they're never going to see our comments. So people can go leave them comments.
So I will cover a little bit of the issue that I was having last time, and I have a screen cap of this. So I posted it on Reddit. So here's how we started.
Ready to timestamp during this segment. I'm sure something will be said here.
So we'll start here. Okay. So this is where I started. Top left, install on driver. Installation can take some time. The installation process can take up to 5 minutes. Then you may also be asked to reboot. If so, please watch for the additional pop-up windows. Okay, this happened to me last show while I was trying to get it working while you guys were talking. These are the prompts that I was fucking getting, and I could not believe it. If so, please watch for additional pop-up windows. The reason the driver installation may take time, all right, we'll scroll down a little bit, is because System Restore Points is created. Mind you, I have System Restore turned off. Microsoft offers no means of checking the progress, so we can't really say how long it'll take. Please continue to be patient.
Was this translated from French?
There's a 5 minute eventually. There's a 5 minute timeout eventually. So if there's a problem, the process will abort. I've rarely seen installation take 5 minutes on a Vista 64 machine with a very large
there's a
disk.
5 minute timeout. Go back up. There's
Yeah.
a 5 minute timeout eventually.
Eventually.
I kind of like I've really seen an installation take 5 minutes.
Yeah, ready? So how was your day before it got ruined by this endless installation? Seriously, what's taking so long? Aborting in 45 seconds. And then after that, it ended up just aborting and not installing. So there you go. Got to give it to them for the hilariousness that was. So at least it keeps you informed, right?
Easter eggs like
So
that.
just picture me. I'm sitting here going, "What the fuck is taking so long?" And I'm looking at the installer, and it's flashing these things. I'm like, "What is it saying?" While trying to do the show, while trying to get ready to show you guys, and I'm like, "Is this thing for real?" So I had to rerun it again to get all the screen caps. So
I like how it started very cringeworthy and then ended up being funny.
Yes.
no,
like them
and I'm not on Vista. That's just a generic, prompt that comes up.
Right.
So
I'm all about little Easter eggs like that inside software. I think that's a lot of fun.
yeah. So I thought it was interesting, but there you go. No, and I have not gotten to.
Lasty puts Easter eggs in his ice cream.
There is
There
some ice creams that have Easter eggs in them.
Mm-hmm.
He will not say which ones.
No,
They're in beta. Don't tell them.
nope. It is. Good night, y'all.
Time to go home.
Have a
All
wonderful
right,
night.
everybody.
Great show. Remember, Juice, Deadline, click and subscribe and like.
Ring the bell.
And ring the bell and
We are very
Patreon.
sorry- We are very sorry that this installation is taking so long.
Yeah, don't make juice when you can buy Power Deadline.
And
This
remember,
process will time out in 15 seconds.
ay.
Ugh.